To the Women's Art Library, thank you for all your help and support from last summer to this spring. You have been both excellent and supportive professionally, but I also look on you as friends, especially. Anyway, thanks again, and you will still be seeing me since I will be doing a foundation course this year. See you soon, lots of loves and kisses. Dear Rebecca, thank you for your letter, and sorry I let my membership lapse last year. I didn't intend to, just inefficiency on my part due to extreme busyness. I'm enclosing a cheque for £6 for next year's membership. I have put a few things together for the library, and I have some slides I'd like to put in, but I do not have copies. Would you make copies if I sent you the originals? And I would like a copy of the October-November issue of the journal. Thanks again, and Merry Christmas to you. Welcome to I Am Everywhere. This is an official IAE sticker. The Siren Song of the Silvery Shite. We think your poems are really great. You're a cracker. Women are still missing out on the enormous potential of the internet. Don't. There are, of course, limitations to who uses the internet. These limitations obviously relate to economic power, whether as a nation or as an individual, but also to other factors such as gender. A report in January 1996 found that only 23% of UK internet users were women. Women seem put off by the techno-nerd stereotype of net users, and more seriously by the representations of women on the net. Women are being further and further marginalised with the development of cyberspace. This will have grave implications for their long-term status and wealth. Body maps, artifacts of mortality interfacing through and into the self. The interactive installation deals with the sensuality and anarchy of the act of touching and being touched. This new work is an interactive, sensory-driven and computer-controlled video and sound installation. The gallery viewer's acts of touch and gesture interactively elicit movement from video images of the artist's body. Conditions and states such as gravity, coma, weightedness, sleep and imprisonment are experienced through the gallery viewer's hands which stroke and caress the objects containing or holding the body. Through women's eyes. A day devoted to women in creativity. Witches, goddesses and heroines. Recovering women's culture. I am a full-time painter. I live in Blackpool and find it very difficult to sell my work up here. I refuse to paint bowls of flowers, country cottages and ships in the harbour, which sell very well. My paintings are dreams, strong erotic nightmares, and fervid figurative fantasies. Who could be interested in them? Do you have any idea of galleries that might be able to promote my work in London, or am I condemned to fame in the hereafter? Thanks for your letter. I shall be delighted to go ahead with the article, and we'll have more time during the holidays. I hope to complete my researches and take some further photographs of the church. They will be colour transparencies, but will probably reproduce quite successfully in black and white. I found the article very difficult to edit since I'm so interested in every aspect of her work and life, thus I would much rather you did it. You would probably be more objective. I would like the Wordsworth and Rossetti connection to remain if possible. I know about the church from an early age since I was born and grew up in Carlisle a few miles away. I embarked on some research on artists in the Lake District for an MPhil unfinished some years ago, and was surprised to discover that the church, which I had admired so much, was designed by a woman. Mainly all the questions posed in the symposium were ones which are still central to many current debates. The symposium hoped to offer opportunity for these areas to be presented and discussed. As well as this, certain groups had been invited to give specific papers on the situation of women artists in their own countries. The programme was extremely ambitious, and although it looked very good on paper, it was really far too ambitious to succeed. There were many frustrated members of the audience who found that there was no time for audience participation, no intervention or points of view could be heard from the floor. One paper was presented after another, and it became the sort of situation where you became very conscious of being talked at, and many women in attendance became increasingly agitated and frustrated. The body lays breathing, the viewer entering the gallery space. The body stirs, the image shivers. The viewer, voyeur, becomes participant, strokes the image of the body or presses the image of the container, places herself at the boundary. The viewer's action, the viewer's gesture, or even the viewer's presence may drown the body, reveal the body, mark the body, disintegrate, embalm, arouse the body. This interaction embeds a relationship to sensuality and anarchy through its need for the caress. It suggests the power of the state of the dreaming body and places our relationships, acted, unconscious, mute, in reference to the contained body. Synthetic. Interesting behaviour in cyberspace is behaviour that recognises the specificity of a new existential medium. Transposing modes of interaction rooted in flesh and blood mores will not make new form yield new content. Cyberspace is no mere pixel-teasing playground, but an original realm of being to be tapped by an emerging species of Homo sentiens. Through their sheer lability, cyberspace modes of existence differ radically from other modes. Virtual space frees us from social commerce based on face value, enabling us to assume guises and disguises at will. Casting one's cyber self into the virtual ocean means creating a quantum persona recognizable not just for one's virtual counterparts, triggering and enabling cyber intercourse, but moreover recognizable for oneself as prime mover, hanging on to a kernel of identity fixed enough to uphold exchange, while sounding the mutability favoured by cyberspace, calls for a delicate balance. Performance models propose infinite ways of modifying and switching identities to assume novel, interesting behaviours within an autarkic realm of existence. The dead-alive binary is irrelevant in this realm or utopia where the quick and the dead are indistinguishable. Heroes and heroines die and resuscitate, spirits and manifest, animism and anthropomorphism endow the portraitous objects with radiant life. Atomizable, interchangeable, dramatic personae have constantly subtended live art, and ancient performance techniques may well prove vital in our quest for synthetic behavioural models for cyberspace. Casting one's cyber self into the virtual ocean means creating a quantum persona recognizable not just for one's virtual counterparts, triggering and enabling cyber intercourse, but moreover recognizable for oneself as prime mover, hanging on to a kernel of identity fixed enough to uphold exchange, while sounding the mutability favoured by cyberspace calls for a delicate balance. Do you work in places where a performance of your type is not a customary event? Would you say that objects have more significance than you in your performances? Do you use objects or visual images in your performance? Do you improvise in your work? From where does your inspiration stem from? Do you make out a score or any kind of plan that will happen? The boundaries between real and virtual are blurred. Beyond that, the tidal wave of new technologies in the image sector is felt by society as a whole. The boundaries between real and virtual are quite blurred. One's life may be saved through the use of virtual techniques. If the virtual interacts with the real, then on the contrary, it is the connection with reality which loses out. An image which is supposed to be a reproduction of reality will from now on no longer be a proof, certainty, or confirmation of the truth of a statement. Hence the need to stand up against the likelihood of deviation through regulations issued by the public authorities.